on at the moment.
Huh?
Is there a mic on at the moment?
No.
Hiya. Excuse us. How you going? Can I ask you a question? Yeah, doing the commentary today. I just wanted to ask about pronunciation for one or two of the names. Number 14, Barry Carrier. Is that how you say it? Barry Carrier. And then Andres Lagos. Verduga.
It's probably a bit late for that now. I'm already...
No, I think that's the most of the pretty straightforward.
Valley Road for this NPL men's game between the Devonport City Strikers and the Glenorchy Knights. Your two teams for this afternoon's game. For the Glenorchy Knights, number 1, Thomas Diven. Number 3, Matthew Burkich. Number 4, Jack Glover. Number 6, Andres Verduga. Number 7, Riley Dillon. Number 8, Eugene Park. Number 9, Cameron Morris. Number 10...
Right, welcome to Valley Road in Devonport for this round 3 NPL Tasmania contest between the Devonport Strikers and the Glenorchy Knights. I'm Camille Douglas. I'll be taking you through all the action here today. We'll run you through the lineups to begin with. For the home side, the Devonport Strikers, Tom Ballantyne's men. There's Noah Curtis in goals, Connor Park, Toby Barton, Cody Sturziger, Kieran Mulroney, Declan Zazadny, Colin Innes, Charles Bidwell, Jordan Payne, Brady Larson, Liam Kelly. In the 11, Dom Smith, Dylan D'Agostino, Mitchell Burley, Joel Stone, and Shante Mayall. On the bench for the Glenorchy Knights, Brian Murphy's outfit. Thomas Diven, Matthew Burkich, Jack Glover, Andres Lagos Verduga, Riley Dillon, Eugene Park, Cameron Morris, Nicholas Naden, Thomas Walpole, Barry Carrier and Jaden Hay are in the 11. Jacob Clothier, Zach Preble, Calvin Pitt, Tyson Barrett, and Asa Azizi. are on the bench. Now, for those of you who follow Tasmanian football, you would know that these two teams met last week in an enormously entertaining clash, which saw the Devonport Strikers victorious in the round of 16 Lacazette Jack Cup fixture. 5-4, the Dylan D'Agostino goal in extra time, the deciding factor. That was down at KG5 in Hobart. Today we're here at Valley Road at Devonport, and there are a few changes to both sides. Liam Kelly coming in for Baxter 2 for the Devonport Strikers. And 3 changes for the Knights, with Naden, Walpole and Karia all coming in. Clothier, Preble and Barrett coming out. An all-important clash here for these two sides in this round 3. It is only early in the season, but the Strikers have dropped points to the Kingborough Lions in their last appearance in the league, and the Knights have lost to South Hobart already as well. So both teams with only the 3 points from their 2 games looking to make amends here, and we are underway. It was a bit fractious last week, this contest, and we certainly expect the same level of intensity here today. Glover, the skipper for the Glenorchy Knights, on the ball early. He has Naden inside. Naden firing out wide towards Walpole. Off him and out of play. Throwing from Sturzica towards Zadney, intercepted. Strikers losing out. Jaden Hay, who looks to have stepped into a defensive role this week. Fired up the line. Nice touch there from Morris. Strikers on the counter. Bidwell getting it towards Payne. Park, the company there, was offside for Payne. So a few positional changes, it certainly looks like here. John Park looks to have gone into right back, Jaden Hay into centre back. Both changes after both having played further forward on the pitch last week. Burkage and Glover unchanged in their positions. Volley forward from Park towards Morris, and Mulroney, the veteran for the Devonport Strikers, the captain. He flicks it over his head. Karia and Bidwell wrestle for it. A dangerous flick really at the top of the 18-yard box, and Bidwell bobbles around at the edge of the box. Comes to Morris, fires on the left foot out towards Burkage, the left back. Stepping into midfield, he fires on the right. And equal to that, down to his right, was Curtis in goals. He rolls it out to Park. Devonport Strikers back 4 unchanged, unlike their Glenorchy counterparts. Now, undoubtedly, whilst 5-4 is an entertaining result for the fans last week, both coaches will have been disappointed with having conceded so many goals. And genuinely, in response to those kind of games, the next fixture tends to be a lower scoring affair. We'll wait and see what happens today, but Hayes up. Innes, the American, the Devonport Strikers of Boston, fired out towards Payne. Park and Payne wrestle for it, look to it, come off Park. And the Lions and flags, that to be the case. A quick throw in up the line towards Zadney, standing in an offside position, allowed to be from the throw in. Glover across with him, so Zadney throws him to the ground. Glover tickles it forward, only as far as Innes. Innes comes back to Bidwell, gets a little bobble, so his pass is errant. Glover tries to get it out, a counter pressure from the Devonport Strikers, led now through Innes and then Zadney, and longer from Divin. A good pace to the game early. Mulroney heads down. Flick by Morris, only Park home. Park driving it out to space towards Kelly. It's come into the 11 today. Morris and Park. Morris winning out. Last across to help. Bidwell comes all the way back to Curtis. So the Devonport Strikers, their fixtures so far this season, having defeated Riverside Olympic 3-0 and having lost to the Kingborough Lions 1-0 And thus far, the Glenorchy Knights have defeated the Clarence Zebras 4-1. And lost to South Hobart 2-4. Then in the Cup, obviously, they met last week and the Devonport Strikers victorious on that occasion. Glenorchy, having won the Cup last year, having vanquished the Strikers in the semi-finals last year, the result turned around. And Devonport will now travel to South Hobart in their next quarter-final there. Whilst Glenorchy can now focus their attentions fully on the league. And a very competitive NPL Tasmania it is this season. South Hobart, Devonport Strikers, Glenorchy Knights, and the Kingborough Lions will all be in the mix. It all came down to the last day of last season, and a 0-0 result was enough between the Devonport Strikers and Glenorchy Knights to see the Glenorchy Knights crowned victors. Devonport Strikers had the better of that game, and had they scored would have been crowned champions themselves, but as it was, the Knights were victorious on the day. They seem to be a very changed team, both personnel and coach this season, and we'll see what that result brings here at Valley Road. In the league last season they did have 2 draws and then one 4-0 victory to the Knights, an outlying result. The throw in from Barton towards Payne, headed away by Hay. Park up, and it looked like nearly a clash of heads, and Innes goes down holding his head. Will have to be play stopped. Innes does jump up. Looks like Innes might have got one to the face there. Inadvertent, of course, as he and Park both jumped for the ball. So despite some positional changes and some personnel changes for both sides, we expect this to be a highly competitive fixture. Park scored a few goals for Glenorchy this year, and Aberdeen adding to that tally from left back today, but Mulroney fires forward up towards Payne. Hay has to come across and cover. He does that well. Shields the ball from Payne. Park into the feet then of Dylan, who finds Verduga. Naden's touch is a little heavy. Mulroney and Dylan fly in. Bidwell, Verduga flying, Verduga in late on Bidwell, and the Devonport Strikers players not happy with that. The whistle went immediately. Certainly an attempt on the ball. Bidwell just sneaking in ahead of him, and the tackle then coming in late. As a consequence, last to Park. Park to Mulroney. Find both teams trying to play football the right way. Finding space in between the lines. A great run from Zazadny, springing in the offside trap. He has Glover accompanying. Glover doing enough to put Zazadny off his work. Zazadny pocketing a brace last week against the Knights. As is the style of football these days, playing short out of the back, trying to draw the opposition on. Find space forward in midfield, flicked on. Innes' delicate flick inside, only comes to Caro, who rolls it out towards Walpole. Walpole back into the 11 this week. He's got Sturzik. He cuts inside. Can he unleash a strike? He toes it towards Morris, who had a fantastic opportunity from the penalty spot. But his left-footed shot rolled tamely towards Curtis, who picked it up comfortably. Driven long. Andreas Lagos into the feet of Morris. Picks out Naden, whose stunning strike late in the game last week for extra time. A long ball into the box. Of the 4 goals the Knights scored last week in the Cup against the Strikers, 3 of them were from headers. An unusual statistic that in modern football. Caria and last. Ball played off last. Caria will have the throw. Wrestle in the corner. Go out for a goal kick. Curtis. Roll to Mulroney. Roll back inside. Defeated Bidwell. But presses on. Park and Payne. Lovely touch from Payne. He drives inside. To last then. To Park. Runs forward. Finds Sturzica. He looked to chop inside Burkich, but Burkich does well. Back to Glover. But who can turn? He looks to switch the play through Hay and then through Park. Ignores the run of Dillon, goes to Naden instead. Naden now finds Dillon, who has Morris on. The 1-2 between them, Dillon. Good football from the Knights. Back inside to Morris, lovely from the Knights. Will he shape on his left? He looks to do so. Last does enough to force him to pass it wide to Walpole. Sturzica. Walpole inside, right-footed shot cross. To no one in particular out of play. Knights looking dangerous early. Long from Curtis up towards the halfway line. 4 will jump. Zadney jumps with Park down to Hay. Given. Short to Hay. Hay inside. Naden. Quick throw in, down to the Zadney. Glover has to track back. Zadney looks to cut inside. The numbers get back to support. And Glover still remonstrating with Copra, the official, not happy about something. Burkish driving forward then. He's dealing on a bit of space in the centre circle. Decides to take the space and dribble forward, and his ball to Walpole. Finds no one in particular, to the frustration of some of his teammates. Momentary pauses once again. The players gather around the middle third of the pitch, throw a blanket over all 20 of them. Curtis goes long forward. Walpole and Sturzica jump. Sturzica wins out. Copper in the way of Innes. Innes has it though now. He shifts away. Good turn from Innes and a delightful ball in between the centre-back and full-back. That's the ball that you're looking for as a midfielder. Payne not alive perhaps to that one. Divin then. Barton. Forward from Park. Walpole asking for support. His little flick out to Burkich. He runs in into space behind Sturzica. Park having to cover. Burkich cuts inside. His ball through to Morris. Well read by Last. Sturzica back to Last. To go up the line. Well read by Glover. Back to Hay, veteran. Left-footed clip in towards Morris. Or headed down by Zadney. Bidwell. Payne. Looks to flick towards Zadney, not on the same length. Wavelength, those two. Naden. Back to Hay. Into Dillon. Down to Puck. Then launching behind to Morris, who lets it go. Mulroney and Park do enough to deal with it through Mulroney. Burkage. Glenorchy just slow the play down and look to recycle possession. Glover. Baduga. Karia. Walpole. Good football from the Knights. Walpole. Big shot back in his right. Karia. And they'll come back out again, Knights. No, Karia elects to go forward to Burkage. Tackled by Sturzica. Throw into the Devonport strikers.
Tommy in front, drop! Tommy, drop!
Headed away by Zazadna. All the way back then. Hay has some grass in front of him. Looks to go more direct. A lot of verticality there up towards Morris. Park wins out, comes to Kelly, deflected to Walpole, inside to Karia. He attempts to shoot on the left and has hit the underside of the crossbar. And it's been awarded a goal. The linesman has given it a goal. The strike from distance from Karia hit the underside of the bar over Curtis. Came down. The Devonport Strikers players looked miffed, but the Glenorchy Knights celebrate what is a 1-0 lead. Perhaps some controversy here at Valley Road as the Knights take the lead. Karia's strike, he picked it up in a little bit of space just outside the 18-yard box, and it just a left-footed strike dipping over the top of Curtis, hitting the underside of the crossbar and deemed by the officials to have then crossed the line. Looked to come back into play after that. But 15 minutes gone here at Valley Road, and Karia has given the Glenorchy Knights the lead. I mentioned it was a little fractious last week in the cup, and I dare say it will get a little more fractious here later on. Karia Green deemed to have grabbed last there, and the Devonport Strikers get it back underway quickly. Innes, Mulroney. Innes clips it to Sturzica. Inside to Kelly. Into the 11 this week. Sturzica to Park. Fires it quickly to Kelly, who looks to flick to Sturzica as it ricochets around and eventually goes out of play. Yeah, Brian Murphy here on the sideline urging his team to get the ball down and play. That they attempt to do here through Glover. So they'll look to play it around the back, draw the Devonport Strikers players into a press. And this time, on this occasion, they just find some joy in getting it out into space. Hay into Karia, intercepted by Barton. Mulroney heads clear. And then Hay hits it higher than it was long. Put your head on that one. Naden brave enough to do so. Barton does the same. Off Naden again. Innes jumped into his back. A high boot from Payne is penalised. It's been given a penalty. The ball was around in the box. An athletic attempt there. The clearance was then resulted in Morris being pulled down. And all of a sudden, the Glenorchy Knights have a chance to go to an early 2-0 lead at Valley Road. And a very quiet Valley Road. Pressure then. Copper urging Curtis back onto his line. Morris looking to pick his spot. Morris not on the score sheet last week. Looking to add his name to it this week. Morris v Curtis, Strikers v Knights, 1-0 the score. Can he make it 2? And a bit of nonsense on the edge of the 18. The whistle goes. And dispatched by Morris into the bottom right-hand corner past the despairing dive of Curtis, and it is 2-0 to the Glenorchy Knights at Valley Road. They've travelled the 3 hours down the highway and they have silenced the home support here inside the first 20 minutes. Pressure now on the Devonport Strikers to respond. They do say early goals is good for a contest, but we have 2 early ones here. Will we end up with a 9-goal thriller like last week? Or will the Knights draw their swords and dispatch the Devonport Strikers? Innes. A lovely switch out towards Sturzica. Cutting inside, left-footed towards Zadney, who brings it down nicely. He looks to chop back. His shot at goal blocked by Naden. Can Devonport Strikers respond here at this corner? They do say only 3% of corners lead directly to a goal. Innes's ball comes in, headed down by Mulroney, bouncing around the box. Cleared on this occasion. Sturzica traps, pressured by Walpole, gets it to Kelly. Uses it out to Innes. He makes a run in behind, as does Park. Innes uses Park. You can't get it to Kelly. Ball stays in play. Finally goes out. Park goes down theatrically. Copper says get on with play. Throw in. Towed away by Verduga. It will be a corner ball. Speaking of going down theatrically, the Knights win. A free kick there. So Zadney penalised. Certainly Murphy would be the happier of the 2 coaches at the moment. You can hear both Murphy and Ballantyne urging their charges. Given goes long. Laston. Karia wrestled for it. It looked like Last has his arms around Karia there, and the 2 exchange words and shoves as they run back into position. Walpole. Burkic. Forward from Glover. Trapped by Morris, but not well enough. He's touch heavy and out of play. Zadney. Goal scorer Karia, tackled by Last. He then drags down Last. Wrestling match going on between those 2. Park up towards Zadney. He traps it on his knee. Does he have support around him? He looks to get it to Kelly. Slightly overhit, and Kelly can't keep it in play. Burkic seeing it out. So a 2-0 lead early to the Glenorchy Knights. So we tick at the halfway point of this first half. Knights in the lead. Strikers with all the work to do. Morris scorer from the penalty spot. Hooks it forward in the direction of Dylan. And Barton. It's out of play and out of danger for the moment.
Let's go! Right.
that. Carrier throwing his foot at the ball. Appeals from the Devonport players for a high boot. Nothing doing from Copra, the official. Long towards Payne. Payne pumps it forward over the head of Glover. He heads down to his shot stopper. Given to Hay. Hay to his opposite number in Mulroney. Evan trying to get it out wide. Innes pressing.
Charles, you're going to tell someone to shoot to Haven. But he's playing the ball really well. Let's go.
John Park to Dylan. Dylan back to Park. Park up to Carrier. Mulroney athletically jumping in front of Carrier and flicking it clear. Last heads forward. Bidwell brings it down. Towed away by Dylan. Naden towards Kelly. And the strikers look to settle on the ball. Park wasting no time in going directly. And Payne deemed to have infringed Park while he was jumping for the football.
Jordan, switch on! Come on! Back this way!
Glover. Naden looks to go to Park. He passed without looking, and Park was not on the same wavelength and they turned over possession. A quick throw forward. The Devonport strikers playing with real verticality at the moment. Headed away by Andreas Lagos. Viduga into Bidwell. Plays square to last. Brings it under his spell. Back to Mulroney. The good press from the Knights forcing the Devonport strikers to move the ball quickly. The bounce unfortunate. Up and over the head of Sturziker and out of play. So at the moment some recalibration required for the Devonport strikers. 2-0 they trail at home against the reigning premiers. What response have they got? Bidwell. Curtis goes direct. Sazadny. Glover reading it best in the air. Mulroney has Payne, and Mulroney uses him. Some time for Payne. What movement has he got in front? Goes to feet. Innes. The import. Sliding it, attempted to slide it at least anyway between the fullback and centre back. The Knights do enough. Lovely flick from Naden, attempted one too. Morris couldn't quite get the ball back to him. A spin on the pass, making it difficult to cushion it back to him. Last, Barton. Innes. Viduga stepping in. Couldn't quite find Morris, and now striking a chance to reset. Has to use Sturziker earlier. The call coming for shape as soon as the Knights lose possession from their coach. Lots of talk in modern football about being formationally fluid, but having a clear shape in defence is still critical to a sound defence. Barton. Fires, seems to know one in particular, in Park to Dylan, up the line towards Naden. He has last for company. Naden fires into the box, dangerous here. Devonport strikers, can they clear the danger? Only as far as Dylan. Well, he might pull the trigger there for a moment. He has Naden back if he wants him. Instead opts to drive it in. Over in the box, good tackle from Bidwell. Got his toe on the ball, play down in the 6-yard box is Morris. Appeals for another penalty there by the Knights. Nothing doing on that occasion, and no further remonstrations by them. A lovely dinked ball in behind to Burkic by Carrier. He drives into the box, but his touch is heavy. It was awkward to bring under his spell. The goal kicks the Devonport strikers, and Dylan clatters into Morris. Strikers played short. Barton. To go direct from here. Payne. Park just pinching in front of Payne.
Now, Kobe, look for that. Come on.
Payne just getting his body in front, drawing the contact, and then ensuring the official noted the contact. Clever play from Payne. Longer from Barton. Payne loses it in the air. Hay sees it all the way. Dillon. The long switch up towards Walpole. The space was there in behind. He's beaten his man Sturzica. So Park comes across instead. Sturzica drops in behind him. Walpole was chopped back onto his right most of the time here. In this occasion, he looks to get it away on his left and will earn a corner for the Glenorchy Knights. Third here. Would really damage the hopes of the Devonport strikers. Ball into the box, headed clear by Barton, ricocheted around. And either off Barton or Curtis, the ball then ricocheted off a Glenorchy Knights player. To Payne. Ricochets off Carrier. Innes with Paduga for company. Barton into last. He rolls away. Now Park, Sturzica in space. Kelly looking to run in behind Burkic. Sturzica, what's his option? He goes into Zazadny, who's holding off Hay. To Kelly. To last. To Sturzica. And last pass into Kelly. Doesn't find its target. Now Naden. Looks to play it around the corner. Can't find his option. Bidwell. It's going to run away from him, but he does touch it around Paduga. Glover stepping in. Barton. Forward. Glover. Park. What a pass. Slicing through the midfield to find Naden, but Kelly toes it away from Naden. Park's a big well man on. Wasn't aware that Morris was on his blind side, but did enough to keep the ball. Payne. Barton has some grass. It's kind of Innes and back. Colin Innes picks it up. Here, space now. Payne has to make a run. Innes inside to Kelly. Payne will win first. He finds Innes. Chance to shoot. Chooses not to. Chops back on the left. A ricochet. And off the upright. Unbelievably there. Still the strikers have a chance. No, it's cleared away eventually. And Paduga now. Innes looked to shape on his right. Cut back on his left. Fired either a bobbled or deflected shot that hit the upright. Had beaten Devon in goals, came across the goal face, and then the resulting scramble saw the ball eventually cleared by the Knights, and now they have it at the other end through Walpole. Back to Naden. No one wide right, so he's going to have to come back. Naden saying exactly that now to Dillon. Barton allowed space to roam forward, and the pass attempted to Innes in behind won't find a target.
Liam's always free. Vertical straight to the gap.
Toby, drop a little. It doesn't come out! Time, go!
Throw forward from Park. Carrier and Last continue their wrestling match. Morris maybe was looking to play that off Barton, but it was eventually just long and was easily picked up by Curtis. Park then. Strolling forward. The Knights get pretty organised once behind the ball. They're forcing Devonport switch the play or to go longer. And on that occasion, the longer ball does result in a Devonport strikers throw in. Zadney comes short. That's where the ball goes. Over his head and Glover's head. And he cleared as far as Barton. A good last 5 minutes for the Strikers. Barton now to Payne. He has Park and Dillon to beat. His left-footed pass inside to Innes, intercepted by Naden, who rolls it out to Walpole with plenty of grass in front of him. He chooses to take that grass. 1 touch, 2 touch, 3 touch, 4. Running it last. He now has 2 for company. He's going to have to come back. Carrier. Walpole. Glover.
Go, Geordie, that's you, Geordie!
Left, Geordie. Go. Sit up.
And Jordan Payne there being urged. Valentine, the coach, to press at the critical moments. Longer forward from Hay. Passing the ball along there, the Strikers. Park then, he's come forward from left back. Fancy footwork, flying into the box. Gets it across the top to Morris. Park steps in. Kelly then, there's nowhere to go, so he has to chop back inside, which forces him to lose the ball to Dillon, to Morris. Barton clearing for the Strikers. Intricate play at the top of the penalty box by the Glenorchy Knights. Past the half-hour mark here. 2-0 the scoreline to the Glenorchy Knights. The linesman's flag is up. It is an offside infringement. Good pass up the line there. Now into Zadney, then to Kelly. He'll give it back to Sturzik because Zadney will make the run in behind. Sturzik has to look for an option. Has to come back instead. Could come to Bidwell, switch through to Barton. Chooses the option of Barton. Payne then, the next option. Innes. Ignores Innes. And they switch it again, the Devonport Strikers. Already firing it in the direction of Kelly, not finding the pass. Andres Lagos then picking it up in midfield. Rolls it into Carrier. There's a pinch from him by last. Naden turning away from 2. Heavy touch from Carrier to Bidwell. Moves out to Dillon and Naden. Somehow managing to keep his feet there. The Strikers appeal for handball. They don't get the whistle and they remonstrate with the official. Mulroney agricultural in his clearance. Park comes across, but Kelly gets it. He flicks it onwards towards Bidwell, but neither Devon alive to that. Off his line quickly to pick it up.
Look after the ball, come on. Sorry, left.
Left!
Mulroney steps in front of Morris. Innes. Deflected. Innes will get there first, but it's out of play. Sturzik. Park with time. Sturzik. Last. Back to Park. So have to switch it again here, Devonport. Mulroney. Morris. Pushing, pressing him. Payne. Mulroney nearly has a pinch there by Naden. Park looking for the feet of Zadney, couldn't get it through. John Park up the line, no one home. Continues to be a good period for the Devonport Strikers. Coach urging the Knights to look after the ball better. Strikers controlling possession at the moment, but struggling to find their way through. Longer from Park, a lovely ball out to Payne. He has one-on-one with Park, has to go at him, cuts inside. What can he produce? He slips at the critical moment, slams the turf with his fists as Devon was comfortably able to drop to his right. Park. Payne. Forward Mulroney there first. Mulroney and Barton raffle it off. No one really talking there to each other. Barton with the throw. Unleashes it. Park early. He drops into space to try and pick it up. Again, he's going to have to look longer here, and he does find Payne again. Payne now has Park and Dillon. Looks to go past Park. Park doing enough. Earns a corner for the Devonport Strikers. On the verge of half-time. A goal here for the Devonport Strikers, badly needed. The old saying is that 2-0 is the most dangerous scoreline in football. A goal here might give credence to that saying and put the Strikers back into the contest. Innes towards the back post. Divin goes to punch but misses, but it is cleared away eventually by Park. Burkic keeping it in. Counter press on from the Strikers. No, not able to intercept, and now Park has found himself out on the left wing.
Get around, Ronnie, get around!
Dillon. Oh, through the legs of Barton. Walpole with a chance to get a delivery into the box. Only 2 in there for Knights, and the Strikers definitely had numbers there. Zadney has to run into space. He does so. His touch and then flick to Innes, who has Payne as his option. Gets it to him. And then with Viduga, Dillon comes back to help out Viduga. Payne goes in between the 2 of them. Toes it across the face of goal. Strong on the ball there, Payne. His pass through to Zadney, not quite finding him, or perhaps Zadney not quite reading the play. Park, Hay. Continues to be a good period for the Strikers. Mulroney. Dealing with an ambitious volley across field, looking to find Walpole. Sturzica heads away, but now Walpole. His pass errant. Finding the import Innes. Now Payne, another chance to go at Park. Finding some joy here at the moment, Payne. A 1-2 with Innes perhaps. Payne. Fires across to the top of the 18-yard box. No one home. Payne tired on his haunches. Innes in the wrestle with Viduga. Breakdancing on the floor there, Innes. Ray gun style, no luck. Up the line. Morris being well shepherded there by Mulroney. The bouncing ball for Barton. He looks to play up the line blind. Doesn't look. Payne still tracking back from an offside position. Park then. Heavy pass. Free kick awarded. There was initially a free kick awarded to Park after Barton came across. But after a lengthy disquisition between players and staff, the throw was awarded. Final moments here of this first half. 2-0 the score to Glenorchy Knights. They created chances early. It's mostly been Devonport's way the second half of this half, but the Knights certainly continue to be dangerous on their forays forward. Speaking of forays forward, here's Dillon. Morris, Mulroney, Agricultural, Payne and Park again at it. Payne having caught his breath back. Kicked by Payne. Payne kicked by Park. Innes on the ball again. Coming inside to last. Dillon tries to intercept. Switching out to Sturzica. Bidwell shifting into midfield. Barton. Payne. Calls for Innes to run in behind from Payne. The ball probably not weighted enough to put him through. Dillon then and Payne.
It's too easy to get out! Stop shooting cheap turnovers. Are you not running forwards? I just ran. No, he's failed to give it a time, so yeah, he's not doing it. And when there's accumulation. Come on! Stand up! Come on!
Come on, quick!
When you're ready, come on! Warnings enough!
The official and Devonport players are not happy with how long the Knights were taking to get the ball back into play there. Bidwell, Caria, the company, tries to play it forward, gets a kick there, Bidwell, and the referee rightfully blows his whistle. Strikers favouring that quick play on. Zadney, touch to Kelly, touch around Glover, into the box, couldn't bring it under his spell, Kelly, and enables the defence to get back and put it behind play. A last gasp chance here in this first half for the Devonport Strikers to pull one back. Inner strides over. The American import on the corner. Zadney, Park, Barton, Mulroney. Payne all in the box. Ball in, top of 6-yard box. No one gets a head on it and it's towed away eventually. Then Park dumps it clear. All eyes then on the official, Copra, to see when he'll bring proceedings to a close in this first half. The answer is not yet. He glances at his watch. Allows play to go on. Sturzica loses out. Wins it back. Bidwell. Back to Barton, whose long ball forward might be just enough to see this first half. Play allowed to go on. Giffen rolls out to Hay. Kelly comes across to Hay. Hay eventually gets it long. Mulroney. Won by last. Naden. Pinched. Last chance. Devonport towed away. Kelly has to come back to Sturzica. To Park, and that will be the end to a very competitive first half. But it is the Glenorchy Knights who take the lead in despite a good last 20 minutes of that half there from the Devonport.
The new Hot Honey range has dropped at Macca's with the Hot Honey McSpicy, the Hot Honey Dipping Sauce, and the Hot Honey McCrispy. Embrace the drip at Macca's.
Came down and then was deemed to have crossed the line for a goal despite the remonstrations of the...
The new Hot Honey range has dropped at Macca's with the Hot Honey McSpicy, the Hot Honey Dipping Sauce, and the Hot Honey McCrispy. Embrace the drip at Macca's.
All to play for in this second half, evaluating this round 3 fixture between the Devonport Strikers and the Glenorchy Knights. We'll bring you more coverage in 15 minutes' time when the second half resumes.
The new Hot Honey range has dropped at Macca's with the Hot Honey McSpicy, the Hot Honey Dipping Sauce, and the Hot Honey McCrispy. Embrace the drip at Macca's.
35 minutes, 12 minutes. Yeah.
For me, I may as well be watching like dogs at the dog park.
Smokes running around.
Bunch of people running around. I do notice the males, they yeet the ball, then yeet the ball, then yeet the ball. Other the females, I guess they can't get the distance. So
No, they can't as much. Yeah. They do. Yeah, the women, it's a bit slower too in women's games. They can.
Yeah,
the ball in those small passes.
The first 10 minutes, in this way, that way, this way, well. I didn't have to do that last game.
No. All right, 1.5 to go. Right.
Ball speed. Really? Right now, about 10. Mate, you know how easy it is to play out here? I reckon I could play striker and score. It's pretty easy. I wish I could. I want to play out too these days. Oh no. Oh, it makes you walk all the way back. Poor Ricky. Killed him.
Welcome back to the second half here at Valley Road for this round 3 fixture in NPL Tasmania between the Devonport Strikers and the Glenorchy Knights. 2-0 the Glenorchy Knights lead. A goal from the edge of the 18-yard box from Carrier and a penalty from Morris. The difference between the two sides. The Devonport Strikers finished the second half the stronger of the two sides, but there is all to play for here in this second half. Both sides with a win and a loss thus far this season to their names. South Hobart and Launceston City with perfect scorecard thus far, and neither side can afford to lose again. The Devonport Strikers have made a couple of changes. D'Agostino and Stone to have come on. In place of Payne and Kelly. Stone winning out there in midfield. He's slick on the outside of the right, finds Innes. Sturzica overlapping. Innes chooses to ignore that and dribbles through. Maduga there to tidy up. Walpole back to the keeper, Divin. He's long up towards the halfway line. Mulroney favourite there. And he heads high. Stone. Bit of physical play there from Stone. Newly introduced. The cult hero at the Devonport Strikers. Charles Stone returning. Prodigal son, you could say. And one of his first actions here was to clatter John Park. He's just taking a moment to recover. To Glover. It's an out wide to Burkitt. He rolls it towards Morris. Park better placed. Ball in the direction of Zazadny, and Glover best placed. Some headed tennis here. Eventually put on the deck. Lovely touch from Morris to Walpole. Has Burkitt overlapping. Eventually cutting inside Walpole to the top of the box in the direction of Morris, who's flicked strike with his left foot. Is well out of play. Mulroney drives the ball into the feet of D'Agostino, the hero last week, scoring the winner in the cup game between these two sides. Bidwell into Innes, who flicks it to Park. Park looking longer up towards Stone. Glover read it best. His pass intercepted by Barton. D'Agostino, Stone in space. His flick towards Zadney. The arms raised in appeal for an offside. No flag. Glenorchy with the ball anyway. Naden. Burkitt. Lots of space. Urged to travel. Rolls it to Walpole, then overlaps. Walpole cuts back inside. Has to come to Naden. Naden fires in the direction of Dillon. He gets to Dillon. He's near the byline. He's looking for support. Barton stands off. Dillon drives to the byline eventually. Hooks it towards the back post. Nobody home. and Sturziger with the chance to bring it forward for the Devonport Strikers. He's up the line, flicks off Burkic, Innes back to Park. Last, Sturziger, Park. Hay heads down, Naden with space in the midfield. Chance to turn. Well overhit his pass forward. Park with time. Might have to look direct here, and he does so. All the way up. Hay. Burkic. Viduga. Burkic. Karia. Walpole. And behind play, Sturziger had disposed of Walpole. When the ball came in Walpole's direction, he was on the ground out of play. Stone, a lovely turn. On the left foot, rolls it out towards D'Agostino. Stone continuing his run forward. D'Agostino rolls it to Stone. A chance for the Strikers, just a little heavy. Stone can't keep it in play. D'Agostino raises an arm in apology. Played short then by Glenorchy. Burkic. Glover. All the way back to Duvin. Longer. D'Agostino rises highest. Stone. On top of the 18. Gets it. This is Zadney, who tries to wrestle through several but can't wriggle away through. And nice now on the counter, hopeful more than a deliberate pass from Dylan. And Devonport resume control of the ball. Bidwell takes his eye off the ball momentarily, allows Naden to nip in. D'Agostino then bundles Naden over, and a free kick to the Glenorchy Knights. So Ballantyne and Murphy have had the chance to speak to their troops, tinker formationally, and in terms of personnel as well, in the case of the Strikers. What changes will this bring for the second half? And a long ball from Glover is poorly directed and out of play. Park to Innes, hands in the back from Burkic, no whistle. Walpole, Innes pitches it from him. Difficult to find his way out of here. Park rolls it to where Innes, he was hoping Innes might have moved, but had Innes picked up the ball there, he probably had nowhere to go either. Burkic. Morris out in the direction of Dylan. Barton does well. Takes two clearances. Makes no gain in ground. Sturziger, his clearance doesn't gain much further. Eventually headed away by last. Barton flies out and intercepts that one. D'Agostino to Stone. Goes over under the challenge from Glover. Spinning in behind is Morris. And find the target, Stone. Former NPL League best and fairest Stone. Mitsubishi medalist. D'Agostino driving forward on the left wing, tries to roll it in behind a Bidwell. Park intercepting that one. Now Dylan tries to chop back on D'Agostino, does get the better of him, and D'Agostino into the back. After 120 minutes last week, one could have forgiven these two sides going through the motions today, but vim, vigour and verve is on full display out here, both sides playing with high intensity. challenge today being who can execute best, and thus far, where it's counted, the Glenorchy Knights have executed best. Speaking of executing, what can Morris produce? He cuts it back to the top of the 18-yard box, but Barton was there. A lovely first-time pass from Zazadny to Innes. Well-weighted touch. Innes has Bidwell in space. Rolls it to Zazadny, back into Innes, but he couldn't get his pass on target. And now Walpole to Morris. Morris the carrier, the goal scorer. Bidwell on him and pinches it from him. Bidwell. Baduga on Stone. Stone recycles to Mulroney. Plays the first time ball out to D'Agostino. Tackled by Park out of play. Throw-in for the Devonport Strikers. Hay heads it out of play.
Drop in early, what's the longer? What's the longer one?
Good early impact from D'Agostino and Stone. Stone picking up ball in a pocket of space a few times. Bidwell. D'Agostino, chance to deliver. He does towards the near post. Zazadny couldn't get there. Divin to Glover. Burkage. Naden. I look to switch here. Zazadny stopping the switch. Have to come back to Glover. It's a good pass then. Out to Morris, who has a chance to run at Sturzica. Morris and Sturzica a little outside of the right. Pass doesn't really find a target, and raising a hand, an apology there was Morris. Goal scorer today from the penalty spot. Morris tackled by Sturzica. Naden to Burkage. Inverting inside there was Burkage, but coming away with it is Stone, who rolls it in front of Bidwell. Bidwell then has D'Agostino's run. He uses him. Park cuts across and intercepts. Bidwell disappointed with the pass. Dillon. Walpole in space in the centre circle. Didn't use him. Comes back to Park. Zazadny pressuring Divin, so he's forced to go long, holding up in the breeze a little. Oh, it is a very minor breeze, truth be told. Innes has Sturzica overlapping. His pass gets to him, curled in. A lovely ball from Sturzica. Only Zazadny in the box though, and 4 Glenorchy Knights shirts, so it was cleared. Strikers have to gamble on those occasions. Park hits it high. Stone couldn't bring it down. Now he has Dillon to fight with, and they both wrestle with each other. Dillon goes over and earns the free kick. So out of the back from the Knights, looking to draw the Strikers on. Strikers not triggered yet into their movement. Bidwell, the trigger must have seen, and Bidwell did press. He now drops back in. Wait for the trigger again before pressing. Hey. Pass right to Park, to Morris. Flicks a nice little Walpole. Danger here. Glenorchy Knights, a chance for Walpole. He shifts onto his right foot. Probably not the right decision. The space was to his left, and maybe that's where he should have gone. And now Bidwell has it. Innes, last. Stone, he has Barton or D'Agostino. He chooses D'Agostino. Further forward, he has a chance to go at Park. He goes past Park, but the touch is heavy and out of play. Not quite the end result for the Devonport Strikers as yet. And not quite at the hour mark. We have our first substitution for the Glenorchy Knights. The goal scorer, Carrier, coming off in his place. Barrett coming on. Might mean a shift in personnel, and it does. Morris going into the 9 position, into the 10 position, with Barrett coming into the 9. He drops in, lays it off to Burkich. That's to Glover, whose ball is slightly overhit for Hay. Almost looked like there might be danger there for the moment, but Hay was able to retrieve the pass. But now he does allow, and there's a wrestling match going on. That is most definitely a yellow card, and tempers get frayed and heated. And on that occasion, the pulling back of Dylan on Stone when he looked through on goal was enough for Copra to give a yellow card, a slice of cheese, to say in NPL Tasmania to Riley Dillon. So then a chance for the Devonport strikers to put one into the box. Innes clips it into the box. Danger Barton, no, over the heads of everyone. And Devon collects. Now towards Glover. He ignores a few runs. He's going to have to play it now, and he does find Morris. He and Innes battle for it. Morris holds him off. Dylan inside. Gets the pitching wedge out for that one. Can't be kept in play. Really out of play, that one. Park to throw forward. Get away by Naden, then last. Naden again. He puts it out of play. Last tries to flick it out towards Barton, doesn't get it there. It's high and awkward for Park. He heads it down the general direction of his midfielder, Stone. Lovely touch, turns away from Morris. Lovely from Joel Stone, who wants to pick it back up in midfield. He does again. It's great at picking the ball up in the half space. Joel Stone gets it once more, turns away. Wonderful feed from Joel Stone, dancing, jigging, causing problems. He goes down, no whistle. Innes rolls it out to Sturzik, can fire and goals. It cuts it back to Innes. A chance, Innes, a touch into the face of Verduga, who keeps it out of the goals. Innes goes, there's a whistle. Devonport strikers appealing for a handball or a foul or some kind of penalty in the end. The flag has gone up, and it will be free kick to the Glenorchy Knights. Dangerous there for the Devonport strikers. Sturzik it back to Innes. He could have struck it, but the Glenorchy Knights were putting plenty of bodies in between the goal and the players. And a clear shot never eventuated. Frustrations echoing around Valley Road from the Devonport strikers, staff and fans as the Glenorchy Knights take their time getting it back into play. Last penalised for a high boot there. Tricky one as Last couldn't see Morris coming, played the ball. Longer up towards Walpole. There's Derzica. Derzica does well to see it out. The whistle does go, he'll earn a free kick. Derzica. Strikers play it quickly. Goes longer. Harper's been outstanding at the back for the Glenorchy Knights. Burkich into the feet there. Intercepted by the strikers. Park with some fancy feet. Does get it out to Sturzica eventually, so Zadney turns away. Bidwell, and then just slightly behind Barton. We'll get it out to D'Agostino. Stone making a run in behind. Ignores that, comes to Last. The Strikers might have to switch the ball here. Last gets it again. And the clip ball in behind to Zadney. Comes to Zadney and he gets a toe onto it. But only gets it into Divin, who had closed the space really well to snuff out the danger. And it was more of a throw of the foot in desperation at the ball from Zadney, more than a clear-cut chance. But Divin read the play excellently, came out, closed the space, and the ball nestled into his arms. And in the fracas there, Hay has gone down and he's going to take a breather. In the meantime, we do have a substitution. Sturzica has departed the field of play. Mitchell Burley for the Devonport Strikers. Just about 20 minutes played here in the second half. So Dom Smith has also come on for the Devonport Strikers. Brady Last has also departed for the Devonport Strikers. So Bidwell will play as a single pivot.
This is Tuesday, come on, let's go.
And about 25 minutes left in this one. 2-0 it remains to the Glenorchy Knights. 2 first half goals. Ball into the box. Curtis, a loud call and a good catch. And he looks to move the ball quickly forward. A wrestling match between Hay and Zadney. Zadney wins out. Certainly has a foot of height there on Hay. Innes over the head of Stone. Does get to D'Agostino. It's a chop inside. Park gets a good toe in. And he spins away from a couple. Pops a kick on the ankle. And the fans and staff and players of the Strikers unhappy with what they deem to be a soft call. Next in the league, the Devonport Strikers will go to the undefeated Launceston City, and the Glenorchy Knights travel to face the Kingma Lions, who've also had a good start to the season. Mulroney knees that one away, unorthodox but effective. Burley nearly onto the pitch, his first involvement. He's pressed. Smith also his first involvement. Burley and Morris go into it. Both players hard and fair. As Burkic and Ennis fly into it. Play allowed to go on. Burley moving play through Stone. Stone, a lovely pass out to Park, who's moved out to the right back position in the absence of Sturzica. Smith having gone into centre back alongside Mulroney. Innes takes on Naden, drives it to the near post to Zadney, who tries to turn. He's nearly done enough. He rolls it towards Burley, cleared away. Walpole couldn't trap it. The Devonport Strikers have a throw in. Smith. Joel Stone. Naden. And Naden travels forward, a little scoop forward. A chance to run at Mulroney for Barrett. He takes him on into the box. Mulroney strong. Curtis out.
Let's go, Noah, let's go!
Fantastic from Mulroney, the veteran.
Noah, play it!
Big well featured in the Advocate newspaper this week. Northwest Coast newspaper. So when he was thrown into the Devonport Strikers State League squad at a young age, felt like he was thrown at the deep end. Well, he's definitely swimming well now. Speaking of swimming downstream, there was Morris who turned into the half space, found no one there and decided to unleash from 22 yards. The strike was directly at Curtis in goals, who raised his palm to flick it over the crossbar. It will be a corner for Glenorchy Knights. So Zadney comes over to get some instructions from coach Tom Ballantyne. In the meantime, the Knights take a corner towards the back post. Curtis gets 2 fists to it as far as Park. The ball doesn't quite sit for him in time, but a lovely first time cushion volley out to Dylan. Dylan has Stone, gets round him, tries to go around Innes, can't do so. Now Innes can launch a counter-attack for the Devonport Strikers. He instead chooses to slow the play down. Park bombing forward from right wing. Joel Stone, another foul on Park there, deemed to have been serious enough to warrant a yellow card. Park holding his face, maybe what that is what the card is for. So Stone becomes the second player on the pitch with a slice of cheese. Dylan long into the box. Curtis best placed for that one, and he does well. Good goalkeeping. He rolls it out to Smith. Park running into space. That's where it has to go. Pass a little wide. Thrown to the Devonport Strikers. Burley tries to dink it in behind to Zadney. Didn't work on that occasion. Time now the enemy of the Devonport Strikers. 20 minutes. Just under 20 minutes for them. Smith wins out there. Burkic high but not long. Park puts his head on it as they battle forward in the midfield. Chested down. Barely in Walpole and Burkic. Mulroney. Forwards is Zadney coming back from an offside position. The flag is raised by the linesman. Back to Divin.
Squeeze that, Dylan. Go! Tom's got to go.
Hey, press on from the Devonport Strikers. And they've won the ball back. Barton directs as Zadney a chance. There's 2 in the box for the Strikers. As Zadney couldn't get it across. It falls to Stone. He hits it on a volley, but it's wide of the upright. Stone having to stretch at the edge of the 18-yard box to get his toe to that one. It was always going to be difficult under those conditions to direct it goalward. And the Glenorchy Knights take a sigh of relief there. Proper warning the keeper to get the ball back into play. Long forward, Mulroney and Barrett battle for it. And Bidwell joins the battle. As Mulroney and Barrett fall over behind the ball. D'Agostino in the meantime takes on Park and keeps it in play just. He's rolled cross though. He's easily cleared by Naden. Barton has Mulroney on to switch. Instead goes to D'Agostino, who's caught very late by Park. He picks up a yellow card. Not so much the force of the tackle, but the lateness of the tackle was the problem there for Park. And so he picks up a yellow card. The third player with a slice of cheese. And a decent angle here for the Strikers to get one into the box. They have some tall timber through the animus of Zadney and Mulroney and Barton and Smith and Park. Enough to certainly cause trouble should the delivery be on target. Can they get themselves back into the game here, the Strikers? Innes in and doesn't get it past the first man in Park. Naden goes over in the box with a bit of cramp, it looks like. Bidwell fires it out to Park as Naden jogs back into a defensive line, and Baduga, the pivot for the Knights, does well to come across and get a toe on that one. Naden stretching. He's put in a big shift in midfield for the Glenorchy Knights. Very long from Devon. Smith down to Burley. Smith, first time down the line. Bidwell makes a great run. He puts Glover under pressure. Glover, cool and calm under pressure, gets it back to Devon. 15 minutes to play. Devonport Strikers need one soon if they're to get back into this. Smith calls Park out of it. Innes heads down to Burley. Out of play. Smith to Park after scoring 5 last week against this Knights outfit. The Devonport Strikers haven't scored today. Is it the change in the back line to the Knights? They made 2 changes to their back 4. Hay and Park in. Has that been the difference? Smith has to come back to Stone. He comes to Mulroney, who's going to have to go long forward. He does just that. Put out of play by Burkic. Throw for Park. Innes tries to cushion it past to Stone. Smith across. Bidwell spins, dances, jigs, takes on 3 or 4, fires the ball out to D'Agostino. What a pass from Bidwell. D'Agostino from this angle scored last week and nearly did so again. Admittedly, his shot from that general position last week against the Knights was deflected into the near post as opposed to nestling into the far post, but dangerous from D'Agostino, as close as Devonport have come today, that is. Terrific work from Bidwell to get it out to D'Agostino to give him the chance to run a Park. Longer than from Devon. Smith has been good since coming on. Mulroney heads down. Park best position, hands in the back, no foul. Burley keeps it. Bidwell and Burley, 1-2. The pass from Burley doesn't quite find Innes though. And now Hay.
Give us something. I know. The other one is actually can't be another. Back up. Take it.
Morris. Smith. Drills it out towards D'Agostino, the ball over the head of Park. D'Agostino could be in behind here. The long ball forward has caused a lot of trouble. D'Agostino tries to cut it back in to find Zadney. Couldn't get it past Park, whose lunging effort managed to put it behind and out of play in a corner for the Devonport Strikers.
Park, top of the box! Park, top of the box, quick!
Corner. Innes in. Devon. Great catch under pressure from Devon. The corner always favoured him and he made no mistake in rising highest and catching cleanly. Naden forced to go back and Devon forced to go long on his non-preferred left. Pitching wedge high. Stone across. Ennis. Paduga across to him. D'Agostino again. Trying to find an option. Stone. Turns and sees two in front of him. Tries to go past them. No way through. And a wrestle on between Mulroney and Barrett there. Smith across strongly. Dillon, can the Knights put this game to bed? They drive forward. Dillon on the right wing. He has Mulroney with him. Cuts inside. A left-footed strike is tame. Headed clear towards Naden. He has Burkage out to his left. Plays the trickier ball through instead to Dillon, which might work out well. Smith. And screaming Murphy, it is forwards to work back there. The three trot back slowly. D'Agostino, in the meanwhile, flies down the left wing for the Devonport Strikers and wins another corner. And the three forwards getting a mouthful from Morris there for not tracking back. Knowing there's only around 10 minutes to play. And they hold this 2-0 lead. Goal here could make that fragile. The corner to the near post, kept in play, deflected, and they'll get another chance to deliver in the Devonport Strikers. Mulroney runs over. He might leave that to Ennis to play. He will. Can the Strikers make one of these corners count? Positionally, they've certainly had the better of this half. Ball in. Once again, clears all heads. Park, no one in front of him except for grass and blue shirts. Can he win something? Unbelievably, he has. He's kept the ball, and now Barrett has it. Walpole can run into a dangerous position. He draws one defender away. At the back post was Burkage. Couldn't get it to him, and Burkage shakes his head. Stone, lovely touch. Not much to go to, so he plays probably the only pass he had on to Zadney, but Zadney didn't read it. He could have pinched it. Here's Zadney, he's caught! But Divin also got the ball, so never likely to give a free kick or a penalty there, Copra. More hopeful appeals than anything at this late hour. Long then. Into the final 10 minutes of regulation time. This week there will be no extra time if the Strikers can, of course, score two. Score three at this juncture for the Devonport Strikers would be in miracle territory.
John Formey, let's go! John Formey, let's go!
As Walpole makes his way off to be replaced. It'll be Pitt coming on for the Glenorchy Knights.
Div, when you get the ball, you got to make sure the defence gets out and gets set early, not stands around fucking around with it.
Can the Glenorchy Knights find the goal that finally puts this game to bed? Stone to Ennis. He has Park. Fires it into Burley. He has a couple for company though. He does well to get it further down the pitch to Park. Burkage has barely played it off. No. A throw to the Glenorchy Knights.
Jumper, it's ball.
Towards Barrett. Bidwell. He goes over, no whistle. Andreas Lagos Paduga. He's wrestled with. Barely manages to get it out to Park. Bidwell has space in front of him. Opts not to use Bidwell there, Park, but it will deflect to him. Can he get something in? He drives into the box, but Naden does well. And relatively agriculturally dumps that one out of play. Quickly into Ennis. Ennis turns away, chops back. Can he find something into the box? Not really in a position to cross it there to Zadney. Too close. Ennis, there's Stone in space. Dillon has him checked, so he has to chop back. Clips it into Bidwell. He drags it down fantastically. Burley, Park. near post, but and nearly getting on the end of that was D'Agostino. Stone keeps it in play. As all the fans, both sides, hold their breaths. Bidwell in the box with Park back out to Stone. He fires into the box. It's a lovely looking ball cleared away by Glover, who has been immense for the Knights. Up the line towards Pitt. Going over. Nice idea. You could see the idea there. From Park towards Zadney, just underhit the pass. Bidwell switches. He has Stone wider if he wants him. He'll come to Innes. He drives centrally. Beats 2 or 3. His pass to Burley. He pressured and gives it away. Bidwell tries a very speculative shot from 25 yards, and Divin made their Cats look very easy. So a 2-0 here. Glenorchy Knights in the box seat. Innes. At the moment it is all Devonport strikers. Can Innes make them pay? He has 3 to beat though. Can he get the shot away? He does, and Divin saves. The wave of momentum is with the strikers, but they haven't made a count here. It is still 2-0, 5 minutes to play. Divin towards Pitt, who's knocked over by Smith. The official decides to let play run on Copra. And D'Agostino with a rugby tackle on Park, who has had his fair share of attention today. And that will most certainly be... No, it won't be. A yellow card. Shante Mayol coming on. Zadney coming off. The Devonport strikers. Zadney, after netting a brace last week, not on the score sheet this week. He'll make the long walk around the pitch back to the dugout. Divin. Barton. D'Agostino. Dillon. Lovely from Baduga to Dillon, who drives a shot, deflected, and out for a throw-in. So just a couple of minutes and then added time for the Glenorchy Knights to survive, and the pass back to Park from Dillon was offside. It's nearly in get it launched time for the Devonport strikers, and that is exactly what Barton does. Headed out of play. Touch from Stone. Back to Innes, put out of play. And Barton looked to throw longer. He does. Park. Mail. Off him. Glenorchy Knights throw. Bungled over behind the ball. There was Morris.
Not good enough. Come on. Time.
Divin direct. Barton heads down, keeps it in play. Only to the favour of Dillon. And found offside though was Barrett. Once again, get it launch time for the Devonport strikers. Barton long up towards Mayo, but only finds the head of Glover. Dillon once more. Chops it back towards the substitute Pitt. He has Mulroney. Pitt does get it into the box, cleared away by Smith, only as far as Dillon, top of the 18-yard box. Cut back in, and the header wide from Naden, which would have certainly finished the result. Unlikely how the Devonport Strikers get something back into this one with so little time remaining and 2 goals needed to draw level. It will be the late show if the Strikers were to get something here. Innes. Not giving up hope yet. Park. Burley. Deflected. Cleared by Hay, who's also been enormous at centre-back. Innes was in an offside position. If he plays this one, he doesn't. Anyways, Burkage plays it up the line, and that's going to curl out of play. As we move towards added time, all attention will be on Brenton Copra.
And Park.
Jacob, contact. Yeah.
5 left, let's go.
Hey.
Let's go, see. Let's go.
A substitution there for the Glenorchy Knights. Naden coming off and Preble coming on. Additionally, Clothier coming on for Park.
Come on,
Barton, D'Agostino really has to hit it first time, and he does in the direction of Innes. Dillon has tracked him all the way. D'Agostino keeps it in play, has to fire into the box. Burley and Mayall in there. Mayall chests it down, but the numbers win out for Glenorchy. Pitt bundled over by Barton. It has been a fantastic defensive performance in this second half from the Glenorchy Knights. Despite the pressure mounted by the Devonport Strikers, they have held firm. Played some excellent football at times, particularly in the first half, that led to their 2 goals. Stone being wrestled, no whistle, he goes over, remonstrates with the official. Park pinches though from Burkage. Park out of the corner of his eye, great peripheral vision, sees D'Agostino, but well intercepted. Bidwell. He drives forward, waiting for a run off the ball. Burley, he goes over, the ball won. Bidwell, treble with him. Bidwell to Park, to Mulroney, to Innes. Can they create something late? They get it to Stone, who leaves it behind. Frustrated with the pass from Innes, or perhaps at the touch of himself. Innes to Bidwell, back to Innes. Driving, he goes over. Park in position to deliver towards the back post. Is anyone home? Mayall's there. Corner ball.
Do it right.
Right at the very end of added time here, I would suggest. There's been quite a number of substitutions, not many halts in play. So we really are in the final moments of this round 3 fixture between the Devonport Strikers, Glenorchy Knights. Ball into the back post, and Mulroney had a header at the back post, which might have given Devonport a late consolation goal. Nothing doing. We might be in the final moments here. All eyes on Brenton Copra. He checked his watch. 1 minute. He holds up his finger. Right up towards our position here. Out of play. Thrown back into play by Burley. Smith. Bidwell. Mulroney. Barton. In behind towards Stone. Clothier across. Sees it out of play, and Stone unceremoniously dumps him. In danger of picking up a second yellow there, Stone. Perhaps a slice of tomato. Copra having a word with him. Stone suggesting he went over softly. A throw in, not even a free kick awarded. by Bidwell. Out to Smith. Here's Park. Back to Smith. Has to fire into the box. Chops back instead. And again, now he delivers. Pitt stayed with it and made life very difficult. So no whistle. Bidwell. He launches into the box. It's going to come over to D'Agostino. With Clothier. Chops back onto the right. Delivers into the box. No one there. Out for a corner.
Stay strong. Body contact.
Takes a short corner. Stone. Cuts it back. Toe towards goal. Cleared away as far as Innes. He chops back onto his left. It bounces. Comes off the head. And into the keeper's hands. And a victorious roar from the Glenorchy Knights bench. As Copper's whistle echoes around Valley Road to signal an end to this round 3 fixture. And a 2-0 victory to the travelling Glenorchy Knights. First half goals, 2 of them to the Glenorchy Knights. Firstly through Carrier, who struck at the underside of the crossbar and then was deemed to have bounced over the goal line before being collected by Curtis in goals. And then a penalty dispatched clinically by Morris. The 2 goals for the day. So Glenorchy bounced back from a last time out defeat to South Hobart with 3 points of their own, and the Devonport Strikers, in what will be an unusual sensation for them, find themselves after only 3 games potentially 6 points adrift. 1 win from 3 games. Tom Ballantyne will have to go back to the drawing board in preparation for their big fixture away to Launceston City. Next time out in the league, Glenorchy Knights, meanwhile, will travel away to the Kingborough Lions. Another huge match for them. But the Knights have travelled north and vanquished the Devonport Strikers, gaining revenge after their defeat last week. I've been Camille Douglas, and this round 3 NPL Tasmania fixture between the Devonport Strikers and Glenorchy Knights finished in a 2-0 victory to the Glenorchy Knights.
Maybe get this.